Episode 96. Han Li gave a mental sneer. He didn't believe a word of the other party's talk about taking a loss. At most, it was a case of each wanting something different. In his eyes, my spirit herbs were undoubtedly worth more than that talisman treasure.
So, Brother Li, what are you planning to trade for?
Han Li hesitated, unable to make up his mind.
I was hoping to visit a few more shops to see if there were any better magic tools. But these few items here are truly excellent, and they suit my taste perfectly. The thought of giving any of them up, it's truly unbearable. Especially that golden light brick talisman treasure. It will be a huge help for me later on. I'm definitely going to secure it. Getting everything I need from just this one place, the Wanbao Pavilion. Maybe that's not such a bad thing after all. At the very least, it would draw less attention to me, keeping the impact of the Millennium Spirit Herbs confined to the Treasure Pavilion.
I'm quite fond of these items, and I intend to take them all.
All of them? This, Brother Li, you must be joking.
Shopkeeper Tian's expression darkened upon hearing Han Li's words. He thought Han Li was being outrageously greedy, fantasizing about trading a single spirit herb for all the treasures in the brocade boxes. Han Li saw this and gave a slight smile, offering no explanation. He then pulled out another identical box from his storage pouch and placed it on the table.
I'll trade you 2,000-year spirit herbs for all the treasures in your brocade box.
Shopkeeper Tian was both shocked and delighted. Without bothering to reply to Han Li's offer, he hurriedly inspected the newly presented spirit herb. Only after confirming that the second immortal spirit herb was also a 1,000-year-old treasure of the same caliber did he turn an appraising gaze back toward Han Li. After all, anyone who could produce two rare spirit herbs at once was someone the Wanbao Pavilion had to take seriously. With Han Li wearing a wide-brimmed hat, Shopkeeper Tian couldn't make out his expression, which only deepened the man's air of mystery.
Very well. Since you put it that way, Brother Li, I can make a concession and agree to your terms. However, I do have a small additional request for you, Brother Li. If you ever come across any more spirit herbs or similar items in the future, I hope you'll give our establishment first consideration. My offer will be more than satisfactory.
Han Li gave a few dry, hollow chuckles and gave a non-committal nod. Hey.
He's suspicious. It seems I should avoid this kind of trade, exchanging spirit herbs for treasures from now on. If I keep it up, it'll only invite fatal trouble.
Shopkeeper Tian had no idea what Han Li was really thinking. Seeing him nod in agreement, his heart swelled with delight.
If this Li fellow can really get me more 1,000-year spirit herbs, then the little bit of information I let slip today and the small step back I took will have been completely worth it.
So Shopkeeper Tian and Han Li exchanged their goods. Once each had safely stowed away their new acquisitions, both parties were thoroughly pleased. Han Li took his leave and departed the 10 Treasures Pavilion. He didn't dare linger in the market for another moment, swiftly exiting the no-fly zone and taking to the skies. Fearing that the Treasure Pavilion might have sent experts to tail him, he didn't fly directly and conspicuously toward Yellow Maple Valley. Instead, he flew straight out of the Taiyue mountain range. Only after putting a solid 3 or 4 days' travel distance behind him did he feel secure enough to loop around in a wide arc and finally head for Yellow Maple Valley. 3 days later, as dusk fell, Han Li reached the outer fringes of the Taiyue mountain range. With night fast approaching, he decided to play it safe. He found a hidden stone cave to rest for the night, planning to return to Yellow Maple Valley the next day. The cave was located halfway up a hillside, with several piles of scattered rocks blocking its entrance, making it nearly impossible to spot from the outside. Han Li had only found his way inside by chance. After eating a little, he leaned against the stone wall in his clothes, circulating his energy to rest and focus his spirit. Before he knew it, the deep hours of the night had arrived. Just as Han Li was on the verge of sleep, he suddenly heard the sound of wind rustling through clothing, followed by a heavy thud as if someone had landed on both feet outside the cave after flying down from above. Han Li's heart jolted, and all drowsiness vanished.
Could it be the treasure pavilion coming after me?
Junior sister, this spot's not bad. It's secluded and quiet. I think we should stop here.
A somewhat familiar male voice sounded outside the cave. Han Li was taken aback, but he finally let out a sigh of relief. Since it's not the treasure pavilion coming to kill and plunder, that means they're just passing through, nothing to worry about.
Junior sister, why look at me with such eyes? Since you've never known the pleasures between a man and a woman, let your senior brother give you a proper taste of it now. That way, you won't have lived your life as a woman in vain. Otherwise, you'll be dead in a moment. What a waste of such a fine body.
Who's the brother out there bold enough to talk about such a vile act, rape and then murder, with such a tone? I'm genuinely impressed, and only a man's voice is coming from outside, no woman's. That means this junior sister has already been subdued. She probably can't even open her mouth right now. But that man's voice, it sounds so familiar. I must have met him before.
With that thought, Han Li's curiosity was piqued. He began to creep silently toward the mouth of the cave.
Here, take a joyful union pill first. Otherwise, things won't be much fun later. Junior sister, don't look at your senior brother like that. Didn't you always say you wanted to dual cultivate with me after you built your foundation? This is just me granting your wish.
After Han Li's hand found a rock at the cave's entrance, he stole a glance out at the clearing. A man in white robes was crouched beside a young woman, his hands roaming freely over her body. The woman's hair was disheveled, obscuring her face from Han Li's view, but most of her body was exposed.
So it's him, that narrow-minded senior brother Lu who fought with the Morong brothers. He really is a wolf in sheep's clothing. I just wonder which unlucky senior sister from the valley is the little white lamb he's snatched up.
As if he'd heard Han Li's unspoken thoughts, this senior brother Lu casually brushed the hair away from the woman's face, revealing a beautiful but venomously hateful visage.
How could it be her? Isn't that the same junior sister Chen who was always being all lovey-dovey with senior brother Lu on the hill? She is senior brother Lu's lover, isn't she? But the way junior sister Chen is glaring daggers, that doesn't look like lover's play to me.
Han Li blinked, looking thoroughly confused.
Found it.
In his hand now was a small, delicate storage pouch. Ignoring junior sister Chen, he upended the pouch, and a cascade of items tumbled out. Magic tools and talismans, along with women's clothing and undergarments, items of a private nature. As for senior brother Lu, he ignored everything else, instead rummaging intently through the bottles, jars, boxes, and similar items.
Found it. I knew you'd keep it on you, junior sister. And I was right.
Senior Lu rummaged through the pile and pulled out a small red wooden box. He opened the lid, but from his angle, Han Li couldn't see what was inside. His curiosity burned hotter, but he didn't dare make a move.
He's ruthless enough to turn on his own companion. If he finds me, his junior brother, he'll definitely silence me for good. And I've seen the power of his wind attribute spells firsthand. Whether attacking or defending, they're incredibly sharp. There's no way my own paltry, half-baked techniques can compare. Not to mention, his magic power is far deeper than mine. He's at the mid-stage of the 12th layer. That means, whether it's in spells or magic power, I'm absolutely at a disadvantage. It seems like I don't have much chance of winning, but if I really go all out, I can still hold my own against him. After all, my original magic tools, plus the ones I've recently acquired, aren't just for show. When it comes down to a fight, who kills who is still up in the air. But I have no interest in risking my neck for some hero saves the damsel routine. After all, junior sister Chen and I aren't close. She made her own poor judgment. Who's to blame for that? I'm not that noble to risk my life for no good reason. I'll just keep my head down and watch this show play out to the end. Then I'll go my way, and that senior brother Lou can go his. No need for any further entanglement. Of course, I'll have to keep a much closer eye on this senior brother Lou from now on. After all, I've never met anyone capable of such sheer, unadulterated cruelty. I have to hand it to him. His ruthlessness is on another level.
With that thought, Han Li quietly activated the Qi concealment art he'd recently learned, terrified that the other party might inadvertently sense his presence and force him into a life-or-death fight. At that moment, Senior Marshal Brother Lu placed the wooden box into his storage pouch. He let out a few lewd chuckles before leaning in close to Junior Marshal Sister Chen once more, intent on continuing his molestation.
Junior sister, don't blame me for this. Your senior brother here, he had no choice.
You have to understand, that willful Dong girl said it herself. If I cut all ties with you and after I build my foundation I engage in dual cultivation with her, she'll beg that grand aunt of hers in the sect, Elder Hung Fu, to personally take me as her disciple and teach me world-shaking, earth-shattering divine abilities.
This is a heaven-sent chance to soar to the heavens. I simply can't let it slip away. So I'm afraid you'll have to bear with it, junior sister.
Lying on the ground, her eyes blazing with fire, Junior Sister Chen trembled with rage upon hearing his heartless words. She wished she could sit up right then and there, rush forward, and sink her teeth into this callous man a few times to vent the hatred in her heart. But, unfortunately, the heartless scoundrel had already bound her entire body with a sealing technique. She couldn't move an inch, couldn't even open her mouth to curse him. All she could do was submit to his will. But the scoundrel's next words left her limbs cold and her heart nearly stopped.
If my junior sister weren't the only daughter of the Chen family head, letting her off the hook might have been an option. I'm genuinely afraid that my junior sister's love will turn to hate, and she'll use the Chen family's power to take revenge on me. She'd spread this story everywhere and ruin my reputation. I've heard that Grandmaster Hung Fu despises faithless men the most, so, for the sake of your future and your reputation, it's best if you just disappear from this world. And I doubt anyone would suspect me. After all, we were so deeply in love.
But what really moves me is that junior sister, like me, has also kept her foundation establishment pill for later use. She must be waiting until her foundational techniques are perfected before taking it too.
After all, that way the odds of a successful foundation establishment are much higher. But since you're even willing to entrust your purity to me, dear junior sister, I'm sure you won't begrudge me this foundation establishment pill. I was actually a bit worried. Taking just one foundation establishment pill really isn't that safe. I was afraid I'd fail the breakthrough.
After all, even those with a mutated spirit root fail to reach foundation establishment all the time. But now, with this pill from you, junior sister, breaking through to foundation establishment is absolutely guaranteed.
With that, Senior Brother Lu withdrew his hands and retrieved from his storage pouch the wooden box he had just put away, along with another cyan porcelain bottle. He looked them over, left and right, a smug expression on his face.